Hey y'all. Okay, so I decided I wanted to make a soup. Everybody's making soup right now. It's just cold and it's just that time of year. But I wanted to make something different, just different from our usual soups, like our vegetable soup, chicken noodle soup, chili, taco soup, all that. I thought I want a different one. What is one of my soups that is different? So I have decided on the Marry Me chicken soup. Now, you may be familiar with that name. Back, I guess, a year or two ago, it was kind of a viral thing floating around called Marry Me Chicken. It was made different ways. It would Some people just seared up chicken in a skillet, made that sauce, and served it like that. Some did it with pasta, which that's how I did. I did a Marry Me chicken pasta. Anyway, tonight we're going to do it as a soup. And let me tell y'all, this is rich. It is flavorful. I mean, full of flavor. It's delicious. And it's just something a little bit different aside from your usual soups. It's kind of like a Tuscan chicken soup, I guess you could say. But anyway, let's get going with it. I just let Belle outside, so I know she's going to be scratching at the door any minute, but at least we can maybe get started, okay? So first thing I'm going to do is put a little bit of this oil in here because we're going to be using these sun-dried tomatoes. You know, I've told y'all about these before. They're really good and they're packed in oil. Okay, so we're going to start with about a tablespoon of the oil from this jar. And I just bought these, but I've already got my tomatoes out, measured out. So we're going to start with about a good tablespoon of that. And I'll tell you a little bit more about these here in just a second if you're not familiar with them, okay? And then we're going to do about a tablespoon of olive oil in there with it, okay? And then about a tablespoon of butter. Yep, Bella's scratching at the door. Y'all probably can't hear it, but she is. Let me get this butter in here. Goodness gracious. She's cold. Okay, so 1 tablespoon of each. Come on. Alright, that's a good girl. That's a good girl. Okay, y'all, hang on just a second. Let me get her treat, get my hands washed back up, and I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, sorry about that. So, like I said, a tablespoon of butter, tablespoon of olive oil, tablespoon of the oil from the sun-dried tomatoes, okay? And it is hot, hot. All right, so now what we're going to do is put our diced onion in there. Not really a certain amount, y'all. You can see I just diced some up, however much you want. Okay. We're just going to let that saute around for a minute. And now that I have that out of the way, I can move y'all up here a little bit closer. I move some of this other stuff. Hang on. Alright, so let's talk about these sun-dried tomatoes, just for the ones that may not be familiar with them. They're really good, and when you buy it, they last forever. Like, I don't know what the date is on this. Let's see, 2027. After you open them, you'll put them in the fridge, and since they are packed in oil, that oil is going to thicken and kind of harden up a little bit. But all you have to do is just sit them out for a second before you're ready to use them, and it will go right back to a thin oil base like this. But it's not something that I use all the time. So whenever I buy them, like I'll have this jar for a good while. You can get them in the that section at Walmart or wherever. That's where I had to get them, was Walmart. But they're with like the diced tomatoes and all that stuff. Typically up on like the top shelf. But just look for them. And these are the julienne, which means, if you're not familiar too, that they're already sliced. So if I had to get the halves or the whole ones, I would just slice them up. But see, you can tell here, these are already sliced up. They're in like a good little bite-sized piece. They don't look worth nothing, but they're very good in dishes, and they're super delicious in this, okay? So there's that. So grab y'all a jar of these. They're great to have to put in stuff. They just have they're packed with a ton of flavor if you've never tried them. Well, I just threw that onion plumb up over my shoulder, y'all. I'm on a whirlwind because I meant to got started about an hour ago. If I have time here later, once we get this rolling, I might tell you about our little incident. But anyway, nothing bad. Everything's good, but it just got me behind. So anyway, I'm just going to let these onions saute up for just a few minutes. Then we're going to throw in some garlic. Few more other things, y'all. This is an easy soup. It's not one that you have to let simmer, you know, for hours or anything like that, and it's just really good if you've never tried it. So let me just get back to doing this, and I'll be back in a second. All right, let's start adding to our soup. So we have our onions in there, and then now we're going to do just some garlic. I didn't take the time to do fresh tonight, but you can do fresh or your little jar like this. This is the best thing whenever you're running out of time. Well, I'm just being messy tonight. Just a couple teaspoons, I would say, would be enough. We're going to put some garlic powder too. So we got that in there. Okay, let me move that aside. And then I like to do a little sprinkle of crushed red pepper. Not much. It's not going to make it hot. Just gives it a little bit of spice. But now if you don't want to, you don't have to add that. You can see there, y'all, I just did a little sprinkle. Not even enough to measure out. Okay, let's just mix that around. We're going to let this cook for just a second. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead. We're going to put in half a cup of our sun-dried tomatoes, okay? And I tried to not have too much liquid whenever I put them in there. I actually tried to get them out of that jar with a fork, since we already put a little bit of the oil in here. So you don't need to have put the oil in there first and then put it in with the tomatoes too, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Alright, I'm just going to let this get back up. That kind of cooled it off a little bit. I'm going to let this get back up to a warmer temperature, and then we're going to throw in some tomato paste. But I want it to be a little bit hotter before I do that, so I'll be back in a second. Alright, y'all see that's cooking really good. So now we're going to put in some tomato paste. I remembered to get me another tube of this. I had ran out. I'm going to give that a good little mix. And we're going to put in like 2, maybe 3 tablespoons, okay? So let's see, there's about 1, 2, maybe about, let's do about 2.5 maybe. So just eyeball it, 2 to 3 tablespoons, okay? Mix that around, and we're going to let that cook until it kind of darkens up a little bit. Y'all know how it goes, how you do it. And then we're going to get some liquid in here and get this thing going. Like I said, it is so easy to be such a delicious soup. Okay? Alright, I'm just going to let this cook around for a second, y'all, and I'll be back. Okay, y'all see how that's kind of darkened up a little bit? That's exactly how we want it. And I'll tell you what, it smells so good. I'm trying to make sure y'all can see down in there really good. Okay, now we're going to add in some chicken broth. I have 4 cups in this pan here. You know, I just made it using my my chicken bouillon. You can use whatever kind you want. You can make it. You can use the can, the carton, whatever. I'm just slowly adding this so I can see. I'm not sure how much we will need, and we may even need more than this. But this is just what I started with. Okay, I'm going to pour every bit of that in there. Okay, so far, 4 cups. Okay, let that get back up good and warm. Turn that up. And then now we're going to do 1 cup of heavy cream. Okay, got that. Okay, now we're going to add a little bit of seasoning in here. I'm going to do some pepper, just maybe about, I don't know, half a teaspoon or so, and just a smidge of salt since we're doing that broth. Okay, now y'all know I don't like to do the Italian season in the bottle. Y'all know I like to use it out of this little pack. So that's what I'm going to use. If you want to use it out of the bottle, that's perfectly fine. But get you about a good teaspoon or so, kind of like this, and then sprinkle that in, whichever one you decide to use. Okay. Let's see. I'm just going to let this sit here, come back up to a good boil. Let all those flavors cook in. I think I will make us another cup or two of broth because we've got to put pasta in here. We got to put chicken in here. So I don't think we're going to have enough. We at least want it to be about a good halfway. All right, so while this is just simmering, I'm going to do some more broth and I'll be back. Hey y'all. Okay, so what I did was I added about another cup of chicken broth. I think we're pretty good now, but I have a little bit more over here just in case we need it. You know, it's just one of those things you never know. And I'll tell you what else I did while I had you on pause. I gave it a tiny little taste test just to kind of check the salt and the seasoning and all of that while I was waiting on that other broth to get done. And I ended up adding another half teaspoon of the Italian season in the packet. Now, if you're using the kind in the bottle, I don't know that you'd want to add that much. That'll just kind of be up to you, just kind of taste it. But the packet definitely do 1.5 teaspoon instead of 1 teaspoon. And you know, it already tastes amazing. And we got several other things that we have to add. Okay, so now we're going to do some pasta. You can do any pasta you want. I would do a short pasta. I'm doing these little mini, I call them bow ties. But we only need about 10 ounces or so. This is 16 ounces. So let's see here. I don't want that to splash everywhere. Let's see. Let's see, so 10 ounces would be a little bit over half the box. That may be about right. But you can use any, like I said, any short pasta. Even if I've seen people do it and use broken up spaghetti pasta. You can do that as well. Just break it up in small pieces if that's what you have. If you have a favorite pasta, you can do that. Okay, I think that will probably be good enough. So yeah, I did probably about 10 ounces because that's a little bit over half. And now I'm just going to let this pasta cook. Y'all know I don't add uncooked pasta in something like this very often, but for this, it's definitely the best way to go. Like I said, we've still got we're going to add some spinach. We're going to add chicken, Parmesan. I have everything over here ready to go, but let me let these cook. And I'm not going to wait until they get completely done because we'll still have to cook it just a little bit. But once they start getting good and soft, then we're going to add our other stuff in. Okay, our pasta is starting to soften up a little bit. And so now we're going to go ahead and put some of our other stuff in. So I have some spinach here, fresh spinach. I just kind of roughly put my knife through it and just chopped it up a little bit. I'd say this is about 2 cups. You know, I got out about 2 big handfuls, and I kind of just call each handful a cup. But you can do more or less, just whatever you think. And I may mix this in and think I need a little bit more, so we will just see, y'all. You know, it wilts down so fast. Smells amazing. Okay, let me get some of our other stuff here. Okay, so we are going to do about 6. I have about 6 ounces of cream cheese here that I just cut up in little pieces. It's kind of I've had it sitting out room temperature now. It's kind of all stuck together, but it'll do just fine. We're just going to put it in there like that. So about 6 ounces of cream cheese. Okay. And then I have about 1 cup of Parmesan cheese. I'm going to sprinkle that in. Let's see. Let's wait just a second. That's about 3/4 of a cup that I put in there. Y'all see now how this is coming along? Goodness gracious. And I'm going to wait, and I'm not going to put our chicken in yet. And the reason why I do that is because you know how chicken will just fall apart into little tiny shreds. Well, I like to kind of keep a little bit of some of it a little bit chunky, where you have like actually a bite of chicken. So I'm not going to put that in until later. Now I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of our Parmesan. So 1 cup of that, 6 ounces of cream cheese. Okay. I'm going to let this hang out, y'all, for just a minute. Let that cream cheese melt. We're going to add some fresh basil. We're going to add our chicken. And, y'all, I tell you what, I can't wait to have me a bowl. Oh, I've got to make my bread, too. All right, so I'm going to cut this down and just let this sit here, and I'll be back. Hey, y'all, look at our delicious soup. All we've got to do now is add our chicken back in, and I'm gonna add in a little bit of fresh basil. Now y'all know I don't use dry basil, but if you want to do a little bit in here, you can. Just don't do too much. But y'all know I'm scared of dry basil. I had a bad experience, so I just don't use it. If I don't have fresh, I just don't use it. I'm gonna save a little bit for garnish, so I'm just gonna put about that much in there. And then here I just have some chicken breast that I kind of chopped up. I tried to keep it like in pieces like this. And we may need the rest of that. Let's see. I don't want to get it too thick. We may need the rest of that or some more of that chicken broth over there, because you can see, you know, that's the funny thing about this soup. I've got my bread in the oven. That's the thing about this soup is it looks so thin in the beginning, but once you put all that in there, that pasta, the cream cheese, the parm, all of that, it really thickens up that liquid. It looks really good. I might do just a splash, not much. I think that'll be enough. So overall, you're going to need a good 5-6 cups of broth, because that's just your main liquid in this whole soup, aside from your cup of heavy cream. So anyway, y'all, that is our soup. It is good to go. I'm going to finish up our bread, let that chicken get back good and hot, and I'll be back in a second. We're going to serve some of this up. All right, y'all, let's get some of this put in the bowl so we can let it start cooling. I've got my bread over here. It is cooling off, and so now we're going to get some of this out. You know what I was thinking whenever I was looking at this? It's like, it looks like it has like a Velveeta or cheddar cheese or something like that in there, but it doesn't. It just, I think those, the tomatoes and that oil from the sun-dried tomatoes that we put in there in the beginning kind of gives it that color, that orangey color, and then of course our heavy cream then gives it the white color. So, but anyway, look at this, y'all. All right, let me set this here, and I'm gonna move y'all back. Okay, let me get you down here where you can see it. And then y'all know I have my fresh little thing Parmesan here that I keep in the freezer. I'm just going to put some of that over the top. Let it melt down while we've got it sitting here. Y'all, this lasts for so long. It's the perfect thing to have. I love it. And then I saved out just a little bit of my fresh basil. So we're going to put just a little bit of that on top. I think that will be enough. I might do a little bit more on top of that. Anyway, there we go, y'all. Here is our soup. I've got our bread over here. I'm gonna let all this cool off for just a second, and then I'll be back and we're gonna try it. All right, y'all, look at our soup. I just made some garlic bread. Now, y'all know I don't eat bread that much, but I do like some garlic bread with certain things, and garlic bread just makes this dish. I don't know what it is about it, but I do love the bread with it. You know, I don't eat bread with many soups, but I do like it with this. So let's give this a try, y'all. Those little bow ties, I just love them. I think they're perfect for this dish. But like I said, you use any kind you want. Look at them. I forgot my napkin. Y'all will love this soup. You've got to try it. Like I said, the flavor is amazing. It's totally different than any other soup that we make all the time. You know, those same old soups that we love. It's just very different. Goodness, I love this. All right. Get me a paper towel. I hope y'all will trust me and try this. It is very, very good. It's easy. You don't have a lot of prep work, a lot of veggies to chop like you do if you're doing some soups. It's just simple. You can even use rotisserie chicken. You can boil your chicken. You can sear it. Use leftover chicken, whatever you want to do. And it's just easy. Okay? All right. I am fixing to enjoy this, y'all. And I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye.